Hey y'all, wanted to thank you all for checking out the video. If you all like it, please like and subscribe, and have a great rest of the day and enjoy.
We're going to demonstrate the operation and firing of a 3-pounder cannon. In the 18th century, cannons were known by the weight of the cannonball that they fired. This is not a very big cannon. It's used on the battlefield. You can see it has wheels. 3-pound cannon fires a 3-pound cannonball. So solid shot, does not explode. That would be a mortar. Those had exploding shells. A cannon just fired a solid shot. Because it's not that big, it really doesn't have a lot of effect on like a house or a fortification. The primary purpose is to go against enemy troops. So it's an anti-personnel weapon. These 3-pounders are pretty common on the battlefield. The other common cannon size would have been a 6-pounder, and that's about the limit of the cannons you would find on the battlefield because they just get too heavy to move around on the battlefield once they get above 6-pounder cannons. So one solid shot cannonball out of this 3-pounder with a full gunpowder charge would go about a mile. That's the range. At the end of that range, doesn't have a lot of energy, so it's just kind of falling out of the air. But certainly half a mile, we can shoot into troops with a cannonball. The idea would be to aim short and like skip the cannonball along the ground into the troops. That way we increase our chances of taking out a couple more troops. So because the cannonball, big ball, isn't that effective against the massed troops, this is the primary range round that we would use. 500, 600, 700 yards. It's called quilted grape shot. So instead of one big cannonball, we've got 30 smaller balls inside of here. It's got a wooden base with a wood dowel in the middle. You put all the smaller balls in the bag and you quilt it up, and it looks kind of like what would you eat for the kids? Corn? I hadn't thought of that. Grapes. This is called quilted grape shot because it looks like a bunch of grapes. So when this fires out of the cannon, all these balls will spread out. So it kind of turns this cannon on the battlefield into a big shotgun. So obviously that increases our chances of hitting more troops. So that's the longer range round. And at shorter ranges, we would switch to this. It's just a tin can. The tin can, you can put anything you want inside of here. The idea is to just throw stuff down at the enemy. So we'd fill it up with rocks, glass, nails. Anything you can fit in the can is going to come out, and the can itself is going to come apart as well. So those are the primary rounds. The cannon is loaded. Everything goes down the barrel. We're going to demonstrate the operation, but I'll explain how it works. There's 4 crew members here. A full crew would have 5. There would be another crew member back here. This chest would have all the gunpowder in the chest. So we keep it away from the cannon and all the sparks and flames. We keep it back here. And their job would be to run up the gunpowder to the front left crew member to load it down the cannon. I'm sorry? Right now. I'll be the gun commander. That would be the 6th person as the gun commander. So gunpowder, if we had time, in camp, we could pre-measure these in linen bags. 4 ounces, 5 ounces, 6 ounces, 8 ounces is about the full charge on the battlefield because we didn't need any really long range. So 8 ounces of black powder, pre-measured in bags. The idea is it's a crew-served weapon. The front left position has an implement called the worm or a wad hook. And if you hold that up, it's like a little corkscrew. And the job of that tool is to go down the barrel and search the cannon and make sure there's no objects or old gunpowder bags left in the back that might be smoldering, any wadding that we would use if we used loose powder. We've got to pull all that out before we load the cannon. So the first command is to advance worm. They would put that at the front of the barrel. The next command is search piece. They put that down the barrel, turn it a few times, and pull out anything in there. The next command in the front right position is the sponge rammer. So they have a sponge, it's wet. So the next job is to make sure all the sparks are fully extinguished in the cannon. So we're going to advance sponge. And then before he puts the sponge down the barrel, the rear right position is the priming position. They're going to take a leather thumb stall on their thumb and they're going to cover the touch hole on top of the cannon before the sponge goes down to ensure that we're not fanning the flames and pushing air over any sparks. So 10 vent, sponge piece, they'll put the wet sponge down and when they pull it out, you listen. Here it wasn't real loud, but you kind of heard it cold.
Yep.
That's kind of like a vacuum there, so that helps extinguish the sparks and the flames as well to make the gun safe before we load more gun. Ram down the gunpowder and whatever we're going to fire. So the powder monkey would bring the gunpowder up to the front left position. They would load that down, ram it down the barrel, followed by whatever we're going to fire. So they ram it down. In the priming position, should have had their thumb on the vent the whole time, but we'll do this in real. Now it's time to prime the cannon, get it ready to fire. So at the command prime, because we have this gunpowder bag down the barrel, it's in a bag, it's not exposed. There's a couple ways we could do this. If we did not have what are called quick fire tubes, which are a thin brass tube with a little cut at the one side and it's filled with gunpowder. You could just put that down the vent hole in the back of the cannon and it would pierce this bag and that's kind of your fuse. So that's quicker that way. It's called a quick fire tube. Or if we didn't have those made, we would use a brass pick, which he would have. He'll take that and go down the vent, poke open the bag, expose the gunpowder. Then we would have to fill that touch hole with more gunpowder to create the fuse. There's a couple different ways we can prime it. And when the cannon is primed, it's ready to fire. This implement here is what's going to light the cannon. It's a cotton rope that's been treated in chemicals, basically gunpowder, and allowed to dry. And it burns very slowly, so it's called slow match. There's no flame, it just kind of glows red hot. And when it's time to light the cannon, that's what's going to light the fuse, the quick fire tube, the gunpowder. The gun commander, I'll be back here, observing everything, making sure the cannon is ready and aimed properly. I'll have my sword. When the cannon is ready to fire, I'll have my sword in the air. Then at the command of fire, I will say fire. The crew members will move outside of the wheels because the cannon will recoil a little bit. In real life, it doesn't recoil when we fire blanks. I said fire, but we're not going to light the cannon because if I had multiple cannons here, that may not, you heard fire, but that wasn't our cannon, so it's a visual symbol. I'm going to say fire, drop the sword, that's my gunner's command to light the cannon. So then it fires, we do it all over again. Now what I described is what's called by the numbers. So as we're training cannoneers, we do it by the numbers so everybody knows what job and when to do it. On a battlefield, we're just going to load and fire. Because we have this crew-served weapon, every cannoneer knows their job and knows when to do it. So the gun commander would say load, and when he observes all the cannon crew do their job and it's ready to fire, he'll just say fire. Any ideas on how long it would take to load and fire the cannon? Sir?
30 seconds.
3 minutes. Any others? An hour.
30 to 45 seconds.
10 minutes. Okay. Yes? 10,000. It's pretty quick. If you've been around the camps and you've had the muskets explained, loading and firing a musket, their goal is about every 20 seconds, 15 to 20 seconds. Because of the crew-served cannon, we can load and fire the cannon every 20 seconds. So it's like a big assembly line. One of the people that was out here at the cannon kind of made the comment, it's kind of like a NASCAR pit crew. Everybody knows their job. So we just load and fire, and every 20 seconds we can fire the cannon. Keep up with the musket fire. Remember, we're firing 30 shots, 30 balls at a time. So every 20 seconds. Yes. Now, it's going to be very loud. Yes. Right. It seems longer because I had to explain it. Okay, so we're going to load and fire the cannon. I'm going to stand back here. Like I said, it is very loud, so you might want to cover your ears. I don't see any pets or anybody that's coming away. I'm going to go by the numbers as I explained it the first time. On the second shot, I'm just going to say load, and then you'll get an idea how quickly it goes on the second shot. Okay? So here we go. Looks clear. Kingsbury, take care. Advance worm. Search peak. Sponge. 10 vent. Sponge piece. Handle cartridge. Charge piece. Ram down cartridge. Prime. Firing cannon! Fire! Load! Got one more. Firing cannon! Fire! Advance worm, search piece. Thank you. Again, sponge, 10 vent, sponge piece. Okay, so that's loading and firing the cannon in the 18th century. We'll take questions off your cannon. Can explain and answer questions. Thank you for coming out.